Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Museum of History and Industry, and I'm very happy to be interviewing one of the fine people of the Puget Sound area, Michael Hall. Michael, nice having you on our program.
Thank you, JP. And Northwest Magazine welcomes you. This is a great opportunity.
Wait a minute. I thought I was interviewing you.
Well, you take over. You're in charge.
How long have you been doing this program, Michael?
Not as long as you have been doing your programs.
That's right. 23 years on Channel 7.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. Started in 1958, and September 21st, 1981 was the last program.
Amazing. Somebody, you said, calculated how many episodes?
Well, someone counted. See, when I get past 10, I'm lost. But he said that there were something like 10,000 programs. But I had an hour and a half in the morning and an hour in the afternoon and a Saturday program for about 14 years. The Saturday program, Magic Carpet, where it fly the magic carpet. Okay.
I tell you, well, I'm a Patches pal. I mean, this is.
Do you know the 10 rules on the J.P. Patches checklist?
I think I'll pass on that.
Well, the main rule is mind your mommy and daddy.
That's right.
And do you mind your mommy? She's the mayor of Edmonds. Boy, you better mind your mommy.
Yeah, I still have to do that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But that would have been incredible show schedule back in those days. Did you live down at Cairo all day long?
Well, practically. I would get up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then go to Cairo. At that time, it was situated on top of Queen Anne Hill.
Yeah.
And we had a small staff. We had, I think, the whole television station only had about 70 people, so you knew everyone.
Right.
And it was really a fun place to work. Now television has expanded. Look at KTZZ. I mean, they're up to 4 or 5 people now. So they've doubled the staff at Channel 22. So things are a lot different now than they were back then.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, you knew all of your crew so intimately over those years, I'll bet, and that really helped.
We did, and they contributed to the program. Guys like Bill Gerald, who used to play the professor, Joe Toohey, who was my director. He played that evil I Am Rags that was always trying to take over the program. And Bob Newman, of course, played Gorse, the friendly furple, Sturdily, the bookworm, just on and on. And of course, who could forget Miss Smith from Miss Smith Delivery Service and the one and only lovely Gertrude,
Exactly.
Miss City Dump.
And I love
your cameraman is very alert. I just wanted to see if he was following me.
Just wanted to wake him up a little.
I wanted him to see this other dummy up here. Not referring to Mike, I meant me,
As a matter of fact,
other dummy in...
Let's explain where we are here today. That'd be an interesting thing.
We're at the Museum of History, and I'm almost history.
And industry.
Yeah, okay. And we're at this display called Seattle Hits. And besides pictures and memorabilia from the J.P. Patches program, Bobo the gorilla is right around. That is not Gertrude.
Oh yeah.
That's Bobo the gorilla.
This is quite an honor then to, include you into this museum.
Well, I was honored. The museum called me and I said, "What? I mean, I'm not dead yet." I mean, I don't think. Anyway, the exhibit is here through the end of the year, and I want to invite everyone to come down and take a look at it. TV shows the memories tape.
That's right. We've got a continuous tape going of some of the episodes that you taped over the years. That's exciting.
I'm tired, Mike. I think I'll sit down.
Good idea.
Well, I wasn't that tired.
You had some famous guest stars every once in a while popping into your set.
I had Michael Hall in 1993. Yes. Yeah, I was telling you about some of them.
Yeah.
We had movie stars. We had politicians.
They'd be in town possibly promoting an event.
Oh yes, Steve Allen was on with his wife, and I had Danny Kaye on once.
Oh yeah.
And
how did you come up with the storylines for your bits?
Well,
Did you have a staff of writers, by the way?
No, none of the staff could write. It was all up here. We'd say, "What are we going to do today?" "I don't know. There's the theme music. Quick, lay down, JP." I'd be laying there and say, "What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today?" And I'd get up, and sometimes the audio man would play sound effects, you know, and then we'd get a thing going. Or Bob Newman would come up with something, or my director at that time, Joe Toohey, would say, you know, during a cartoon, he'd say, hey, why don't you guys do this or do that? Good idea, good idea. And then we started doing it. Or, you know, sometimes when we had kids on the program,
right,
sometimes the kids themselves lent an idea. Like I'd ask the kids before the parade, what would you like to see today? Oh, they'd like to see Gorst the Friendly Furple do something, you know.
Interesting.
So I'd have Gorst and.
Well, you've got one heck of a lot of Patches pals out there over the years. It must be amazing wherever you go to hear some of the stories.
Well, you know, I still make appearances, and it's really gratifying. I hear a lot of stories. People remember being on the show.
Well, your show was it was an intimate show. It was one-on-one. It's not like nowadays, you know, with the production, you know, qualities and things.
Well, we had a small staff, and the ideas we came up, they weren't all great, but the kids seemed to like them. And the funny thing was, adults liked the programs too. It seemed to be amusing both to the kids, maybe because of the slapstick and the funny cartoons and what have you. And then some of the dialogue that we had seemed to amuse the adults.
Tell me about your career even before you became J.P. Patches.
You know, I went to Macalester College in St. Paul. I got into radio and became a radio announcer. Yes, I became a radio announcer for a while. And a friend of mine had a children's program in St. Paul called Casey Jones. His name is Roger Awesome. Roger and I went to Macalester together. Yes. He called me at the radio station where I was working and said, we need a director at this station. Can you direct television? I said, of course. Well, you know, I didn't know anything about television. So, however, I had been in a lot of plays. I had done Shakespeare. I'd done a lot of comedies, done some stage work. I was in Oklahoma, Kiss Me Kate, you know.
Gosh.
So I figured, hey, I can direct television.
There you go.
Anyway, I got the job, and Roger, who played Casey Jones, asked me to be a sidekick on his program known as Joe the Cook. And I became Joe the Cook. I wound up with my own program. Then I did a space character called Captain 11. I showed Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon serials. Then I played a cowboy called Chuck Wagon Chuck. Howdy, all you buckaroo buddies. Say, we're gonna see a great, Hopalong Cassidy movie today. Yeah, old Hoppy, boy, he'll show those baddies what. And so I played Chuck Wagon Chuck. And of course, I was Captain 11, today's man of the future. And I was Joe the Cook, who was very, very popular. Anyway, I played J.P. Patches in Minneapolis for a year. My boss, Fred Kaufman, who was a program director there, came out here to put Channel 7 on the air, and he hired me.
You must have had some incredible support from your family through all these.
Well, they were supportive, and I think I told you earlier, there were times, you know, I think where my family may have missed weekends because of these appearances that I was on, but I tried to make it up. We had a place on Camano Island for 28 years, and we had some fun times up there, you know, boating and swimming and fishing and things. We had I think a wonderful, and I should mention that I have a darling granddaughter, Christina. I always have to mention Christina, and she's great.
You have quite an extended family now, obviously, with all the
Well, there are a lot of
Patches
Patches pals out there, and there are a lot of people who are from out of state, and they either have married someone from this area, so that person has bored them to death about J.P. Patches, or maybe their neighbor. Well, you mean you grew up in Kansas City and you didn't know J.P. Patches? Well, let me tell you, and I hear that story all the time.
The set you had of the show was so small when I looked at it.
This is the remainder of the set, and this is even smaller than what you remember.
Yeah.
We have a few things here. We have Grandpa Tick-Tock and the old tricycle that I used to ride that, bruises falling in the garbage can in the afternoon.
Right.
And, hi there, Grandpa. Hi, sonny boy. Grandpa Tick-Tock. But we have a lot of different things down here. If they're into nostalgia, it isn't only this display, but there are hundreds and hundreds of things for the whole family to see here at the Museum of History and Industry.
Oh, that's beautiful. JP Patches, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much for being on my program. This isn't my program. I keep forgetting that
It's
your
all right.
program.
Anytime you want.
Okay, Michael. Thank you.